Ayan. Good evening mga ka-OFE! So, parang nag-stuck ba si Uncle John dyan, guys? Please comment sa ating comment section. Yan, medyo nagkakaroon ata tayo ng technical
Ayun,
difficulty.
hello?
Ayan,
Hello?
diba?
Okay, hello. Ayan, nagkaroon ng technical difficulty, sabi ni Direk. So, hello mga ka-OFE. Magandang umaga, hapon o gabi, kung saan man panig man kayo ng mundo. Sa mga hindi pa nakakakilala sa amin, kami nga po pala ang OFE o ang Overseas Filipino Entrepreneurs. Kami po ay nagbibigay impormasyon, kaalaman, at inspirasyon sa bawat OFW in terms of mindset, pag-invest at pagninegosyo. Ang pinakalayunin po namin ay i-convert yung ating mga OFW into OFE. So mapapanood nyo kami through our social media pages. Ayan, sabi ni Direk, ilabas na daw natin yung iyan. So nasa Facebook tsaka YouTube kami. So this is simultaneously live or streaming sa both platforms. So it's up to you na lang no, kung ano yung preference mo, Facebook or YouTube. Nandyan yung pages natin. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our FB page and YouTube channel. And ayun, welcome back to OFExperience. This is episode 15 of season 5. Ayan. Good evening, Eli.
Good evening, Uncle! Kamusta? Kamusta? Well,
Ayun. Oh, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Oo, so nagkaroon ako ng 1 month na vacation leave approved by Direct. So, dahil birthday month ko yung August. So, nagkaroon ako ng konting pahinga and I'm very happy that everyone backs me up during nung time na wala ako. But I'm very excited kasi nakabalik na ako ulit and we're on our next episode today. Ikaw, kamusta ka naman, Eli? Kamusta ang life?
um, sobrang saya naman. Right now, I'm happy na na ulit, Uncle.
Yun.
Sobrang saya na mga ka-OFE natin. So, ayun, nanonood ang ating number one fan, si Tita Nina Alang Trubela. Good evening po, Tita.
Hi. Hello, Tita. So, yan, mother yan ng one of the co-founders natin, na si Carl. Hello, Tita. Good evening
Hi,
po.
Tita.
Ayan. So, okay.
Hi.
So, sabi ni Direk, Eli, go ahead na daw dun sa ating
Learn and Win with OFE. Ayan guys, ito na yung instruction for this. So una, comment the 3 answers to our trivia question which will be provided by our guests during the live. So may mga question kami, tas after that, meron dong trivia question. So next step is tag 2 friends, don't forget. And then, pangatlo, syempre dapat sharer ka din itong live na to. At pang-apat, use the hashtag OFExperience. At ang isang mananalo ng 500 Gcash. So, hindi na pala tayo dinodoble pagka top fan, no? Wala na yung top fan.
ay, top fan. Wala na yung top fan. Hindi mo daw kasi mabigkas yung top fan.
Very good, very good.
So, sabi ni Direk, dahil nahirapan si Eli bigkasin yung top fan, tanggalin na natin, no? So, kidding aside, kumbaga ito is more of you have a chance to learn tonight, of course, sa mga special guests natin. And syempre, di ba, at least may extra money ka to for you and your family. So, kung wala kang GCash, equivalent, pwede yan, PayPal, etc., etc., kung nasaan ka man. Gagawa natin ng paraan yan. Alright? Okay.
At saka for sure, sobrang dami nating matututunan sa ating guests for tonight. Very excited with this episode, Uncle. Grabe. So,
sige,
ayan.
pakilala mo na. Pakilala mo na para ano.
So, ayan. Wish me luck, Uncle. Sana hindi po tayo mamali ng bigkas. But anyway, ayan. Our special guest for the night is a serial entrepreneur, philanthropist, corporate advisor, author, speaker, and Forbes Business Council member and contributor. She was always been motivated by achieving concrete results and creating a positive impact. recognized and honored with awards as one of the most influential Filipinas in the world by Global FWN and as an ambassador of peace by Universal Peace Federation UK. So her remarkable achievements transcend globally as she is an investor and holds executive positions in multiple businesses. Grabe. Without further ado, let us all welcome Ildeme Mahinay Koch of Demee and the founder and CEO of the grooming expert GmbH. Alrighty.
Yeah! Hello, Miss Demee.
Hi, greetings from Milan.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. And
Turn po
yeah,
sa Milan.
I don't know what to say further. You said it all, but no. But to be humbly speaking, I think I don't want people to think like, oh my God, something. What I achieved, you can achieve. So yeah, thank you anyway for that lovely introduction. And
Yeah,
again, thank you for
medyo,
having me here.
yeah. So, Miss Demee, medyo talagang nahirapan si Ella i-explain lahat nung ano.
No, you did well. You did well. Yeah, more than well.
Ayan. Alright, ayan. So, sige, before we start dun sa ating interview proper, sige, Ella, maybe pwede tayong bumati ng mga ibang watchers natin tonight.
Ayan, si Angel. Ayan, from our ka-OFE friend, June Alfie Gala. Ayan, si Tito. Hello from the Philippines. Mabuhay! Ayan,
Ayan, tatay ko yan. Daddy from the Philippines.
and then another one from ka-OFE Joyce. Syempre, ano, si magandang gabi mga ka-OFE sa ating mga host.
Hi, Joyce. I'm talking with Joyce, so yeah, I know her that way.
Thank you, Joyce, for connecting us.
Ayan, good evening.
Eto, so meron ako isa, si Marmar Guevara. So, isa yan sa mga guests natin before. Ayan, hello ka-OFE. Hello. Ayan. Sige, game. Let's start. Alright, so sige, Miss Demee, warm up tayo. So, let's start with, saan ba nagsimula yung Miss Demee Koch?
From Liloan, Cebu. No. Yeah, no. I mean, you mean as a person, as a business person? Yeah, I think when I was young, I've always been wanting to be something. I remember watching these magazines and I'm like, I want to be that. I want to be a CEO. I didn't even know what that means, to be honest. And I think someone is ingrained in my brain. But yeah, I started my career in Dubai. It was an accident because I actually didn't apply for the job. I was just assisting this. There was a group of employers from Dubai hiring people from the Philippines in the Philippines, and I happened to be there because we know one of the recruiters. So they're asking me for a favor to evaluate the English, proficiency of applicants. And then so these employers met me, and I'm always happy and full of life. And they're like, "Oh my God, we like you. You wanna work with us?" And I'm like, I don't know. So what's the job? And it was a customer service executive in Paris Gallery, which was until 10 years ago, which was the number one luxury chain of like makeup, accessories and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, it's a dream girl's job, right? Like it's every girl's dream job. I mean, like wow, luxury, makeup, perfume, bags. I'm like, oh, why not? So that's how it started. So basically, my career has always been in the same line as I am now. So I started as a customer service executive, and then I got promoted as a department head, and then having 2,500 people under me. And then I got headhunted by another company, which was in distribution now, and also a pioneer in creating chains of nail spas and stuff. Yeah. So that was my exposure. And then from then on, I went into creating my own consultancy company in Switzerland. I licensed in Switzerland, but operating in the UAE. And it was just a slippery slope. No, I'm kidding. So I just it was the momentum that opened the whole door towards my entrepreneurship journey. So I did my MBA after I left the UAE, and then I opened more and more businesses, and here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Grabe. Well, napaka-impressive nun. Grabe. Wala akong masabi. Pero inspiration, just like me, work ko rin maging entrepreneur talaga. So, yun talaga yung gusto kong course. Naligaw lang sa skill. But I want to be an entrepreneur someday. So, ayan. It's very inspiring. I think OFE ang na-inspire right now. Yan, grabe.
So, but I would add, like, it sounds quite like, oh my God, that's exemplary. I mean, in a way, yes, but in a way as well. What I did was not extraordinary. You see, because we all can be something else. But the difference that I want to emphasize is that I would say we're not supposed to be all the same or all to be entrepreneurs. Some of us can be really good at being an employee, but really good at it. Like, and we can also be very successful there. You see, so for me, again, it's understanding what do you want. Try to understand your dreams, because for me, we all are given a certain talent, and it's tied to our dreams. And this two combined is for us to actually live our purpose. Tayo lahat may rason nandito tayo. We're not just here to
Definitely.
consume. Lahat tayo may special role, and no role is less. I mean, I highly respect Masoreros. As I said to you, like, I highly respect them, especially when they give their love. Success, I think I don't want to put a label what is success in the sense of profession. We can be successful in many different ways. And this is what I want to emphasize. If you do what you love and you are comfortable in making money out of it, then you're in a good place. So yeah, so that's just kasi a lot of people nga parang, oh wow, she did that. I did that. It wasn't easy though. It's because it's just what my heart somehow led me to do, and I just keep on it, and no matter how hard it gets, I just didn't give up. I fail, I
Yeah.
fail, I learn, fail, fail. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Miss Demi dito, no? So parang meron kasi we're not on the same cloth. Kumbaga, yung iba talagang born to be entrepreneur, born to be a leader. Yung iba talaga born to be a follower, but very good sa execution. So
Yes.
parang meron akong isang napanood previously. It's like, what's your rich life? Di ba? So everyone has their own rich life. So some rich life, it's like a peaceful family with 2 kids, with 2 dogs. Then that's it, right? Pero sa iba, like for her, bata pa lang siya, sabi niya, gusto ko maging CEO. Yun na talaga. So kumbaga talagang umpisa pa lang, yung vision nandun, you were really a hard worker na talaga sabi ko, hindi, kailangan makuha mo to. Pero siguro, Miss Demi, meron ako follow-up question. Actually, do you have like entrepreneurial family background talaga?
Yes, but disaster. I was also a disaster, by the way. I inherited that. Meaning, my mom, we had like kind of a catering. We used to cater to Cebu doctors and some, NBI, sa Cebu. But my mom keeps going, giving. It's not business. So we don't, because in the Philippines, we talked about this during the warm up. We are not educated to be entrepreneurs. We're educated to be workers. So we don't know how to do business. That's why you can see that there's only approximately 5% that does the business. They're the ones who manage to make the business successful. They have the right training, the right mindset. If you're an ordinary citizen, I came from an ordinary family, you don't have this mindset. So ang nangyayari ba, maawain tayo?
Yeah, true.
So we
True.
mix personal and business, and we end up giving. I was, by the way, like that a little bit, because even if I was educated, honestly, mahirap baguhin yung nakatanim na generational implanted behaviors and habits and mindset. So yun ang pinaka importanteng binago ko in the way I did business. That's how I managed to reach where I am right now, because I had to change. I'm still giving, but responsibly. We talked about this. And also when it comes to business, I don't mix both. So, how else can I say it? But I think am I answering the question?
Yes,
You know,
yes,
I
yes,
am
yes.
coming from, but it was not the right entrepreneurial mindset. Do you understand? Kaya it's
Yeah,
important
yeah.
when we talk about entrepreneurship, we need to make them understand that there's certain
Yes.
responsibilities, certain practices that we need to be careful with for us to be a
Yeah.
successful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good insight kasi I usually ask this question kasi I wanted to understand what is the upbringing nung guest natin. So kumbaga parang how they come about na talagang gusto ko maging entrepreneur. Some doesn't have that exposure, and then eventually parang nagkaroon siya ng friends or network of friends who open her mind or his mind, di ba? Na parang, pwede pala ako maging businessman, pwede ako maging entrepreneur. Kasi I have what it takes. I have the passion, I have the why, and I have the reason to, I mean, I have the means to sacrifice. Yun nga, di ba? So, kaya sa kanina, which is ang ganda lang, which is parang nagkaroon ka ng self-awareness as you go on, right, on your journey, that ay mali pala yung ginagawa ni mami nung bata ako, na
Ginawa ko
parang,
siya.
oo, pero
You know?
ginawa mo rin siya, di ba? So, kumbaga, yes.
I think it's again we talked. Sorry for cutting you off, but I think that again some things that sometimes kahit alam natin ginagawa. Kaya ako I'm doing a daily affirmations, daily reminder. So I share the reminder to everyone, also to myself. Walang perfect. As much as I'm talking about wisdom right now, trust me, I'm also learning, trying to relearn everything every day, because that's what it takes to be consistent in your journey, to be able to consistently grow. As a person, as also an entrepreneur, in all facets in life. Yeah.
Continuous improvement. Talaga. So, everyday naman kasi we have this thing na may matutunan every step of the way. So, I think yung maging mentor, kasi parang mentor natin here. Parang din, talaga, we are here, and pa sila. Ganon. So, ayun.
So that was a very good question, honestly. It's good to know, actually. Actually, tayo lahat, alam mo, I mean, hindi mo talaga mawawala yan no matter the culture. Our choices in life are mostly influenced by our upbringing. It is.
Yep, true.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it doesn't
Usually
end there.
kasi,
We can take that.
yeah.
Pero
So,
sa
sabi nga,
mga bata
go ahead,
pa lang sila, nagbebenta na sila ng sa school nila, ganyan.
Bata ako, ganun ako, nagtitinda ako, pero kinakain ko naman lahat.
Sabi na
Yung puhunan kinakain ko, Sabi na ate ko,
Yeah.
uy, nagtitinda ako ng yema. Sarap, di ba? You know how kids are. It's like, oh. And then sabi natin, bakit ganito na lang natira? This was a wrong practice. Dapat kasi talaga, business is business. Pag magtinda ka, kahit kakain ka sa tinda mo, bayaran mo yun. You know what I mean? You should be, kasi it's a business, So,
Pero at least bata pa lang talagang entrepreneurial na mind. So, ayan.
Sandali, matawa ka. Even when I was with Lata, kasi nakikita ko yung kapitbahay, sabi ko, bakit sila parang mabili candy? Wala. So, lumalayas ako. Nag-join ako. Naghahanap ng Lata. Pero palagi ako nadadaya. But still, you see, I've always had that. So I remember, this is my trait until now. When I want something, I find ways. You know what I mean? And this is the truth. There's always this to say, the saying that if there's a will, there's a way, couldn't be more true in life. Di ba kahit tayo, di ba? Napansin nyo, pag in love kayo, oh my God, walang tulugan. Excited, di ba? Ganun lang yun. That's what I always tell people. Fall in love with what you do. You'll show up happy, no matter how hard things are. No matter how tired, even if you're sick.
Agree.
Importante. In love kasi ginagawa mo.
Yes.
You will not be always in love, but you have to remember, tama yung sinabi mo, dapat may why ka. By the way, balikan natin yung why, yung pagiging wanted to CEO. Kasi I've always wanted to help people. But how can you help if you don't have? Like, I need to have a lot for me to help. Kaya, and for me, CEO was like a symbol of power, symbol of success, meaning this person can be anything, can do anything. Para siyang superhero who could save the world. That was my my affiliation of CEO when I was young. That's why I want to be that, So, yun.
Yeah. Yan din. Sige, Ella, go.
So, ayan, thank you so much for that, Ma'am Demee. Nakaka-inspire. So, number one question pa lang tayo, guys. Pero ang dami learning. So, when did you realize naman na parang gusto mo na talagang i-push itong business na?
When I was working, I saw a lot of personally non-acceptable practices. I saw a lot of gaps in the business, in the industry of beauty. And I thought, you know what, at a certain point where I had a lot of experience, I had a lot of network and contacts, because you need to have that for you to be able to start comfortably. I also know that I learned more than enough. I have enough data to understand that I'm doing something right. So that took me a lot of years of, again, covering the whole industry. For my brand, I started in customer service. I had an exposure in the floor, in retail, and then I went into management. That means executive management for the business itself in the beauty industry and luxury. Then I was headhunted to head, I was the general manager or CEO, whatever, of a company that does distribution, also creates their own products. So I understand all this from the industry.
End to end. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went into consultancy to create concepts. And then I have my MBA. And then after the MBA in Switzerland, I did the MBA in Switzerland, I did my own, and then I went to service. So imagine mo, retail distribution of products, then went into service, meaning I had these spas. You see, and I get to meet so many people and I get to, to build more relationships in the industry. So that's when I decided it's time to create my brand. And mind you, I actually attempted to do many different things in between, still related. I failed, and I learned from those everything. Everything that I am right now is culmination of everything that I had to go through. And mind you, it was not easy. I had to show up. Times that I work from 7 to midnight or no sleep, and I have to clean the toilet. I own the company because in Europe it's not like you're the diva. I do my own. I even do the service, and people will not believe it. So you see, I really went through everything, humbled myself enough to open myself to learning, to experience, to understand what the business is all about, and to get to know my target market. So yeah, so it took a lot. I think it was after entrepreneurship would say, I'm talking about the brand right now, where I came up with the brand because this is the most successful one. Entrepreneurship wise, the push was again understanding the loopholes in the industry and having covered management roles, executive management role, having seen the gap and having how my boss, it was my boss actually, the last boss. She was not really a nice person. She treats everyone like shit. I thought, you know what? No, when I have my own, I will treat my people right. And I thought I'm someone as well that I know if I work for someone, as much as I am very, very, I have very good intentions in the things that I want to do to change the industry, to create a good business, they will never listen to me because sometimes it's ego. The owners have the ego, they want to have the last say. And I couldn't implement the change that I wanted to do. And I thought if I can afford it, if I have the means to start something, why not? So that's how it started. Okay, but it was not blindly starting. Again, understanding. We have, because this is what people make mistakes. Okay? I see it a lot. That they said, oh, it's like a whim for them to be an entrepreneur. May puhunan naman ako. Your puhunan is not enough. You need to have really an understanding of your industry. You need to find out what is the pain point that I'm answering, that I'm solving. You need to bring in something that really solves the existing problem that's not being solved by anyone. So filling a gap. You need to have understanding on how to do business. You need to have enough knowledge on all the corners of the business that you're entering. Because they have a saying that the most smart, the most successful business people are the ones who hire people smarter than them. Pero may but dyan. Mag-hire ka man ng smarter sa'yo, but you need to know what this person is supposed to be doing. Meaning you need to understand the structure, especially if you're talking about big businesses. If you talk about small businesses, understand the basic setup of a business, of a healthy business, So yeah.
Wow. I think that
Did I answer?
Yeah. No. I would just add, I just wanted to add dun sa sinasabi ni Miss Demee, no? Nandun siya sa experience coming from working on this space or on this industry, right? In the beauty industry. So, and then eventually, as yung career niya progresses, makikita niya na yung pain points. Yun talaga yung keyword na inaantay ko sabihin kanina. When you know the pain point that you wanted to solve, it's much easier talaga to maneuver. Kasi ayoko nung ginagawa nung amo ko sa akin ngayon. So eventually, gagawin ko, magke-create ako, alam ko na yung end-to-end nitong kung nasaan ka man ngayon na industry, and then ginamit niya yon to create her own. And tatapon mo ngayon yung mga waste or yung mga bad na experiences mo across, kumbaga, down the line, and then eventually, magkikreate ka ng sarili mo system. So, which is, I think, that's what happened to her. So, kumbaga, ito lagi ma'am, na nare-receive na tanong. Ano ba magandang negosyo? So, I always answer this one na, ano yung alam mo? Ano yung pain point na na-experience mo, hands-on and actual experience na gusto mo i-solve. Kasi, let's say ako, pwede ko sabihin na, sige, magtayo ka ng IT company. But you don't know what's the pain points that you wanted to solve kung nandun ka sa industry na yun. Kasi you don't have experience. That's what she said, na kailangan alam mo kung paano yung pasikot-sikot doon, even though hindi na siya yung gagawa nun day in, day out. Diba? So, ganda eh. Nantay ko talaga yung pain point lumabas. So, yun yung gusto ko sabihin.
That's a given. I will add something to that as well. So, acknowledging the pain point, and then you ask yourself, are there many people who shares these pain points? Kasi, and then understand who your target market, sinong gusto kong bentahan. Understand them. Kasi alam mo, napapansin ko, I am saying, be passionate at what you do, love what you do, be driven by you, but it doesn't mean that ikaw mismo ang mag-decide on how you do the business, how you create the product. Kasi hindi ikaw bibili. You have to adjust what you do to the people that you're selling to. Ay, business ko naman to, bahala sila. Yung magreklamo, ilang beses na ako niyan, kung ayaw nyo, wag. No girl, it doesn't work like this. Kung ayaw ng client mo, understand why ayaw nila. Kasi hindi ka mabubuhay, it's not you. It's ego. Now you're talking about you. You're not doing a business, and you expect people to buy you. No, they buy the solution you sell. That solution has to serve them the right way. Pag may reklamo sila, may mga tao talagang din, mga customer na parang abnormal din, sorry to say this, ang mga complain. But nevertheless, they're still client. I still listen to them. And if they already go below the belt, that's when I become personal. But not personal in the sense that I will insult them. I will just tell them, look, I'm sorry. I'm not here to serve your personal life. I am here to create something that will benefit a lot of people. And this is the capacity that I'm able to give, within, that is legal, So I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna allow anyone to insult what I do. But I'm willing to listen. If I can improve something, I will. Ito ang problema kasi pinpoints is one thing, and this is what I had to learn when before I did my brand now. That's why I had a salon, because I met a lot of people. I said, am I the only one having this frustration? Then you research, kasi you have to be, when you reach the point where you see a point, and then you say, is monetizable? It can only be monetizable if there's a lot that shares it, and if the things that you're creating are you gonna buy it? Are you gonna be happy with what I'm bringing? So yeah.
True. May extra layer yung pain point, di ba? So talaga.
There's a lot of layers there.
Yes, true. Re-reviewing ko talaga tong interview natin after nitong session. Yes.
I think we need to go sa next question. So, eto na, yung pinakakaintay ng lahat. Share to us the product, what makes them distinctive among the other brands.
Oh, so again, I said about pain points, right? So the beauty industry, for me, you know how Philippines, we grew up being told to be clean, right? Parang cleanliness next to godliness. Kahit anong poor mo, you're always like clean. May planchado pa yung damit. Okay, so I grew up like that. So I see beauty as a way to look after yourself, to respect yourself, self-love, self-care. But what you see outside is not that. Unfortunately, there's the evil side wherein you wanna, all the advertisement na puputi ka, ganito. That's not what the beauty industry is supposed to be. Sandali, I have an issue with my thing. Nag-charge na. So, yan ang gusto kong baguhin. Beauty industry has been demonized. It became more about vanity, and then it's being used to bully. And I wanted to change it back to the part where it's about grooming, self-care, self-love. Okay. And how did I do that? So it's the messaging that I incorporated in my brand. So I create the conscious beauty movement. That's one of the facets. And I also noticed that it became a big thing, not just in beauty industry, generally speaking, how social issues became a selling point, which really irritates me. It's greenwashing. Oh, it's bio. So what? So it's natural. So what? You're selling a beauty product. It should be good. The bio part, if you can, it's a good thing. Great for you, yeah, but it should not be your main thing. And I also hate it. Oh, it's sustainable. Like, yeah, girl, it's fine. It should be normal. So normalizing social impact is one of the parts that I'm trying to kind of advocate for. The third part is If if companies can add $1 to their packaging, to marketing, whatever, why can they not add $1 more to support a cause near to their heart? Could be anything. So incorporating social impact na ngayon. Kasi I've been
Yes.
doing social impact since I was young. And I started to, relate it to my company. So we can normalize. So magiging ang social impact, again, it's not going to be used to promote your brand, but it's just going to be part of the DNA. Why? Diba, buyer, seller, right? So as a seller, you need to put back the money to your buyer so you can parang magbabalik mo siya para magiging mag-flourish sila. They can be healthy. We have symbiotic relationship. No? So yun ang yun ang ina-advocate ko. That's actually what I write in Forbes, social entrepreneurship. This means that it should be a natural thing for companies to give back. Yeah? And then, so basically in the beauty industry, for me, beauty kasi then is this. It's your relationship, self-care, self-love to yourself. There's beauty as well in how you treat people and how you treat the animals, how you treat the world. It's your relationship. It's love. It's showing love between your behavior towards yourself and everything around you. And then fourth is responsible consumption. We're making awareness. Why? So every day, all of us, when we wake up, we consume, we speak. Okay, our words has an impact to everyone around us. Okay. Now, our biggest impact, the most immediate and visible impact we have, is through our purchasing power. That's why it's called purchasing power. Where you put your money is where you create impact. Is where you kind of create change. So I'm telling everyone, conscious beauty means you're conscious of everything that you do. I'm not telling you what to do, you decide. And naturally, most of us, when we are aware, when we have a choice, I also don't believe in pushing people to the corner. Because if I'm not so rich, I cannot afford to buy all this bio because obviously there's a price attached to it. But I'm trying to tell people, if you can find the best ways to make the best of the money that you spend, if you can change the way you behave towards other people, how you throw your garbage, we can make this world a better place. So awareness. So that's what makes it.
Yeah.
That's the social. That's the heart of the brand. Now, when you talk about the product, pain point is that I saw as well how a lot of companies, they normally divide. They have this 10 steps, the beauty regimen. I think Eli can relate to this.
Yeah.
Diba? So, an example, bibili ka ng 10. Will you have time to do all 10? No. And they say, oh, it's cheap. Yeah, of course, but it adds up. So what happens is you buy all this, not only you waste money, you create more garbage. So what I did is I tried to challenge my manufacturers to incorporate as much function in one bottle as possible. That's why very, very interesting yan ang aking collection. It has a reason why it's only that, because that's all we need. We don't need so many things. We don't create so many carbon footprints, so many garbage, we don't waste money. So with my brand, it's multifunctional. So that means you save money and time and you minimize waste. And then there's also the part that I make sure they work. A lot of brands, when they create a product, they start with a budget. And normally the budget for the product itself is the lowest. I'm not joking. Not with me. I tell them, create something that's reasonable, but the best that we can. But I'm not limiting in the budget. It has to make sense anyway. No, that we need to create a product that works, that delivers results. So multifunctional delivers results, then the social aspect. Yeah. I mean the contributory aspect. That's
Yeah.
what makes it more different.
May nagtatanong if meron daw po nito sa Pilipinas.
Well, we are already licensed, FDA approved, and all natural. By the way, that's made in the Philippines. I'll tell you the reason why later on. And the other one, our hero product, is not yet. We're trying to get the FDA. It's just more a notification, but it takes a long time because they have a lot of red tape. So, but we're working on it. Yes. Marami na rin akong fans dyan actually, but they buy from Europe. They bring it to the Philippines. Nag-hoard sila.
Nag-hoard sila. Hoarder tayo di ba?
So,
Actually,
yeah.
perfect yung product. Very, need siya ng mga babae talaga.
Kaya actually, Miss Demee, meron akong gustong i-touch na very impactful na talaga nakuha ko dun sa sinabi mo, no? usually, ang stigma or yung stereotype ng beauty is usually aesthetics, di ba? Na parang ano yung kalabasan ng anyo and westernized kasi usually sa Philippines lalo, ang maputi, yun ang maganda. Yan ang ano. And then, and then eventually, nung nire-review ko yung materials mo, this catches my attention talaga. Define beauty, define you. Meaning, kumbaga, to each his own, right? So,
Yeah.
parang, paano mo na come up itong statement na to?
It's a combination of the wisdom that I learned when I was in the industry, and the comparisons that you get, the ideals that the industry is giving you. You can never look like a Kardashian. I'm sorry, you can never look like Angelina Jolie as much as I want to. You can all have all the operations, you know. Natawa si Jensen. Sino mo ayaw? Ganda kaya niya, no? So, but, alam mo, kasi, at saka nakakairita, kasi alam naman natin, lalo na ako, I mean, I don't know, somehow, I think I'm blessed with wisdom. I'm an old soul. When I was young, I've always understood that iba-iba tayo. Binubuli pa nga ako noon kasi I've always had big boobs. I was always different. I'm tall, you know. And in the family, maputi kami lahat. But ako yung makulit, malikot. So I always go out. I'm the dark one. But I mean, generally speaking, I'm normally really white. But because I was always out, you know, and I also see everywhere. And I can also see the frustration, you know, of women wanting to be something. And the more these ideas are planted in your brain subconsciously, hindi mo to napapansin. You know? And I want to change this. I want to challenge that. Because, can you imagine, pareho tayo lahat, we look the same? What is beautiful anymore? If we're cookie cutter, you know what I mean? Beauty is about what you think beauty is. Beauty is you. You are beautiful. The question is also not just, and if you notice as well, napansin nyo rin na may mga pretty lang, na dead. May mga taong hindi ganun ka-pretty, whatever is pretty, because we have different definitions of pretty. But they have this power, they have this, parang attractive sila. Kasi beauty talaga, if you step back, it's a culmination of you as a person. Your look, your attitude, your aura, the energy you give out. You know? And everyone is truly unique. And there's the beauty in it. Kasi pag walang good, walang bad, right? There has to be, we know what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm making sense because it's a different kind of an example analogy, but what I'm trying to say is that pag lahat uniform, hindi ka makapagsabi beautiful yan kasi uniform.
Yeah.
We are
Correct.
unique. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So very ano talaga, talagang may meaning eh. So kaya talagang sabi ko kanina, kailangan ko itanong to kasi I'm very curious about it. And then eventually you're touching about the social entrepreneurship. So etong OFE is more of social activities talaga that we wanted to really help yung mga kababayan natin in terms of mindsetting, paano ba maging entrepreneur. So during the time no yung ini-introduce ka ni Ele kanina, there's something na it was mentioned that you are a philanthropist and named as an ambassador by
Yes, grabe.
by Universal Peace Federation UK. So, I've been hearing about SDGs and such, pero pwede mo ba kaming bigyan ng konting kwento about these social activities that you have?
Actually, my social activity is beyond that. I'm also a board member of Breaking Silence Movement. It's a foundation based in Paris. It's mainly for the victims of gender-based violence victims. So basically, ang aking advocacy is more empowerment, and obviously, mas weak ang I have a weakness as well for those victims of sexual violence, domestic violence, human trafficking, because ito yung mga taong walang self-esteem. Kasi it's yung self-love, self-care ko na kinukwento, it's so related to having self-confidence. When you have self-confidence, you have the ability to create boundaries. Hindi ka ma-abuse. Okay, so that's why it's all related. So I do want to do something that I'm not familiar with. I do something where I know I'm good at, where I have an experience and understanding. So when you go back to philanthropy, and dami kong involvement, so I support, I think I mentioned that before our before the warm-up, na marami akong sinusuportaan na maliliit na organization, mostly hands-on. Kasi malaking organizations ngayon, it's like a business. So I want to help. Kasi I don't have a lot of money, but you see, if you have $1 and if you put your heart in it, if you nourish it, you tend to have a bigger harvest than putting 100 seeds, 1,000 seeds, 1 million. If you don't care, just put it there. So everything I do is intentional. So that's the philanthropy side. Because ang dami kong involvement in small, different charity organizations. One of this, Voice of the Free in the Philippines, human trafficking, BFM. Sometimes some organizations they tap me, and some people will ask me for certain things, either to speak, to give, I don't know, inspirational talks. And then yung Universal Peace Federation, ito nga meron kaming project, in fact, na hindi pa namin na-implement. Kaya nila ako binilagay sa council, because there's a council that's dedicated to proactively help everyone to avoid being a victim. So self-care naman yung aking part, where I teach people. Kasi nga, if you have self-care, you have self-love, you protect your well-being, you learn to say no, you learn to put boundaries. When you put boundaries, you don't get abused. So yun ang explanation for those things.
Alam mo, tunay ito. Kasi marami lalo. Ito share ko lang. Yung kapag lumabas usually lalo ng Philippines, marami talaga na-abuse. Super laki ng chance. Kasi first, ignorant tayo. Di ba? Number one. Second, dahil nga nasa outside ka ng country, medyo mas takot ka na lumaban kasi nga hindi ka naman taga dito, etc. Then eventually, tatanggapin mo na lang na you're abused. Kasi hindi mo alam na classification of abuse na pala yun. Because you don't have the means na.
Hindi lang yun, as a Filipino, Jan, we are trained to be kind. But too kind, remember mo yun, sabi ko rin sa boundaries. We learn to submit. We learn to think we're less than others. Kaya nga meron tayong colonial mentality. We don't even support our own brands. Pag alam mo, wala akong resentment kasi I understand, but this is the thing that frustrates me. A lot of people, do you have it in the Philippines? I don't really push it because naiirita lang ako. Ano malbuta sometimes when I'm pushed. Kasi kung sino po yung Pinoy, my brand is the best places possible, like the most prominent. Yet in the Philippines, grabe sila. When they learn I'm a Filipina, they don't take me seriously and they just they treat me like lowly, And I'm like, no, I'd rather not, then I will become arrogant, right? And say, oh, mahal naman ang product mo. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna explain myself. So, ang problema kasi natin is that we have this mindset that we are second-class citizens. That we are not good enough, that we just have to say yes, and also the kindness that we have. Hindi tayo tinuturuan ng boundaries. Di ba? Pag may aasi magpatulong sa'yo, kahit mamamatay ka na, go. You cannot say no kasi masama yun. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yun ang problema that we have to address. Ang tama ka nga, dahil sanay tayo to sacrifice ourselves. This is also one of the things that are taught to us. The more you suffer, the more you go to heaven. Right? Kinaalaw natin, honestly. And I really am someone who has big heart to help. I would help anyone or everyone. But I also am very picky. I cannot take people who are taking advantage. So yun lang. Yun ang problema. So yeah, that's something hard to digest. Sorry to say that, and I'm not saying it to be, to be mean. I'm saying it we can wake up.
Yun yung reality na hirap. Medyo tabu siya, to be honest.
Yes.
Tabu siya, especially for Filipino families, right?
Yes.
To discuss na...
That's why they don't like me. No, not all. A lot of people love me, but some people cannot take. You see, pag mag-mentor ako, I have to lay it all out. And it's not personal. We need to separate that,
Yes, agree.
But it's our culture. Yeah, our culture. Every culture has... We're not saying, I'm not saying don't change, don't be kind. Be kind, but be kind responsibly when to say no. You're still being kind. You just learn to say no. When it's too much, when you know you're being abused. Abuse means when someone is really using you, someone who doesn't care if you're dying. They just kind of ask you favors. And when someone is like misusing you, like letting you show up and they don't even appreciate you, They don't even say thank you. I mean, that's the least people can do sometimes. But yun talaga ang rason bakit tayo na-abuse. Mostly. Dahil sa ating kabaitan. Hindi ko sinabing magbago. Magpakabait, but just know na hindi po, No. When it's not normal anymore,
Yeah, Elay, Ha?
Si Elay, tahimik. Sabi niya, grabe na to.
Power talk ni Demee. Grabe. Parang kailangan marami pang audience makarinig nito. Kaya yung mga ka-OFE, share nyo live na to right now, yung sa mga nakakarinig right now. Share nyo na, guys. By the way, sige. Ang general, meron pa follow-up question or should I go with the next
Sige,
question?
may question ka. Go.
So, ayan. Demee, paano naman yung experience mo as an OFW serve as an advantage in your journey as an entrepreneur?
Sorry, I cannot get the question. Sorry, what is it again? Sorry.
Um,
Paano?
as a former OFW, paano siya naging advantage sa'yo at sa yung journey as an entrepreneur?
I think it's the exposure to different cultures. You see, when I worked in Dubai, I got to work with I think 109, 105 nationalities. So this gives you an understanding of the world. And now, I was always having a big ambition. I don't know why, but for me it was so normal that I want to be that big. If you want to be that big, you need to understand the bigger picture. So being an overseas Filipino worker, a professional, I get an exposure, I get an understanding because again, how you sell yourself, how you present yourself should be relatable to the people you sell it to. You see, that's an advantage. But because isa pa, anong difference ko? I learn to adjust, I learn to embrace, I learn to keep my identity, but I learn to fit in without losing my identity because that's the distinct identity that I have. I am me. I'm a Filipina. I am a citizen of the world, but I'm a Filipina in essence, in the core. So this is the thing because I noticed some people, ay, Filipino ako, di bali na sila. No. The world right now is so interconnected. Globalization forces us to interconnect, to work together. How do you become successful no matter which field you are? Understand other cultures, learn how to speak their language, not in the sense, language, not the language per se, but the way they speak. Like some things that we say are rude, you need to understand colloquial, or the way, the manner of speaking, mannerisms. This is what I teach people. When you go to Japan, learn the Japanese way. When you do business, learn how to deal with them. Learn everything you can. Especially kung mag-business ka doon. Kailangan. So as an OFW, I would say yes, my exposure and my ability. Kasi tayo lahat, again, even if you're not an OFW, if you really want to learn, anyway, you have the means. Everybody can travel. It's not so expensive anymore. Learn. And there's an internet. Listen, learn. You can watch a lot of things to learn. So yeah. Was it a good answer?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah,
Wala.
true. Yeah. So meron to piggyback on the topic of learning, no. OFE is a community. We're trying to build a community for kababayans, let's say. Regardless if you're an OFW or taga Pinas ka, we're trying to build something here to create an awareness. So, having said that, ano yung naging impact for you as yung community to build your empire right now?
I'm sorry to tell you, sadly, I don't have any support from the Filipino community. I give the love and support. There's no impact because, and I would love to have the support, of course, but as of the moment, my success I owe to my immediate network right now, which is very very diverse. And my target market, and I focus on it, is the world. You know why? Again, and people don't get it sometimes. Like, oh, we don't make products for the Philippines. I do want to, but my advocacy went beyond that. I don't want to impress Filipinos. I want to impress the world for the Filipinos. You see, I'm opening doors. I'm showing the world who we are, what we're capable of, and I'm opening that door for everyone else to follow. So, ang impact, unfortunately, none. I'm not getting the love, but I'm giving the love. It's okay, no resentment, no problem. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I think slowly, the people, I'm being misunderstood. A lot of, kasi hindi mo ako makikita, hindi ako yung popost ko lahat sa ginawa ko. No. But I have quite a really interesting, powerful network that knows me. Every time, and by the way, I connect so many people. Everyone I connect without any personal interest, and when I do something, it's because I want to. This helped me, and this goes beyond being Filipino. There's Filipinos, there's a lot of non-Filipinos. They see that I bring in value, so they don't. When people do something for me, they don't do it because oh, Demee is nice, what she's Filipino. No, they do it because they know that I am someone who means business. I'm straight. When it's not good, it's not good. I would tell them, you know. So I created that reputation or integrity, or I don't know how you call it. Yeah. But let's see. I hope. I would love the support, but yeah, it's. I suppose speaking of support, maybe right now I think that would come in. I mean, well, it's not. It's a two-way thing because I don't know if Joyce mentioned that I have a book. I have three books. But the two books are
Yeah.
more important. So one of the book is, if you saw my page, I think it's also shared. There's the daily dose of vitamin D. This is where I share my wisdom, the wisdom that I also had to rehash myself, very practical wisdom. And so there's a book and explains the wisdom. So there's the wisdom, and then there's the explanation what it is about, and then you have your parts, like a diary self-help book, which is really, I would say, really lovely. A lot of people send me a message. That's why now I've been writing a lot, like small this, and now it's a good time to put it all together. And then there's another book. The other book originally was called Breaking Conventions in Heels because I'm breaking conventions, breaking glass ceilings. I'm just a Filipina, who looks good. People think I'm not smart. You know what I mean? It's to the
So,
world. So I'm breaking the convention because I'm part of companies that are all male dominated and yet they're afraid of me. They call me the police in the boardroom. So but this book now is changed into something. It's more about kind of an empowerment. I call it the Go Girl Go because normally I speak to women. It's easier for them to relate. It's about you can be anything you want. Just go and just listen to you and do not let anyone, anything, your failures, whatever, define you. You define you. So this is a book that's really interesting because it gives you, like not a tool, an idea, an insight on how to deal with stress and how to find yourself, how to find your dreams. So that's gonna be something I think would be interesting for everyone to read, and that's gonna come in before the end of the year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
So, when you have a
Yeah.
copy ng
Ah, yeah, kailangan. Actually, nakita ko may pre-reading na eh. May pre-reading to when you
Uh,
subscribe. So, may mga chapters na that you can read early. Right?
so that's the
So,
that's the old one. I mean, soon we're gonna come up with a new one. But
with
that's
the
the first
official.
chapter that you read. They'll give you my a bit of a background of who I am.
Yeah,
How I
yeah.
grew
So,
up.
share din natin sa mga ka-OFE, sa mga interested dyan.
Ayan,
Thank
sabi ni
you.
nalimutan natin ang trivia question number 1 kasi sobrang ganda talaga ng discussion. But ayan, naka-OFE yan, sabihin na natin ang trivia question number 1. So, ilang years naging OFW ang ating guest for tonight? So, ayan. So, hold
Hindi ko
yung
nasabi yan, do. Hindi ko nasabi. Hindi na
para
masagot yan. Hala. Hindi ko nasabi yung years. Sorry, I forgot. I did not answer the years. I just...
No, go. Kasi medyo nag-go with the flow tayo. Sige, how many years na lang naging professional? OF professional before?
Hindi, no, the OFW. That's nothing to do with that. Hindi ko nasabi years. Not fair. They cannot answer it.
Yeah.
Hindi ko nasabi yung
So,
exact number. No, it doesn't matter to me. No, hindi ko nasabi yung exact number. So, hindi nila masagot yan. But anyway,
it's
maybe you
okay.
can ask for another question. Ano na lang ang brand ko
Yes.
siguro?
ibahin na
Meron pa tayong ibang question, so okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Sige.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just
yung
saying
number
kasi hindi ko nasabi ang number of years. So.
Sige. So, for the next question, sabi 4 minutes na lang, pero ayan, mag-overtime
Okay
na
lang.
ng part. So, ayan, ano naman, Demee, so business mo as an entrepreneur, any plans of expansion on trying a kind of business?
I
Long-term
can't hear.
vision.
Long-term vision.
Yeah, the world domination. I'm already opening in Canada soon. In Philippines, we're working on it. We're already growing within. So the Middle East, I'm quite big. We're quite beloved. The same in Switzerland, the UK. The UK, we're starting to really expand. The UK in Europe is the biggest market. It's worth a few billion. And the US as well, we're gonna do it. Yeah, and I have an expansion of new products coming out soon. This end of the year to first quarter of next year. Two amazing products. One is a CC cream. It's like a combination of sunscreen and the CC cream BB cream, but with skincare. It's really one of a kind. And then there's another one is the hair growth serum for the hair because our hero product is for the lashes and brows. And yeah, and there's many more. Yeah, I have also a plan to create a brand for teenagers, and I might open it in the Philippines.
Abangan ko
Okay.
yan. Mga ka-OFE natin.
Yeah.
So, definitely.
And maybe I'm gonna go into food. I wanna bring brands, Philippine brands to Europe, to build a factory here, and yeah, that's why I'm here
Yeah.
as well. One of the things that I'm here for, the meetings.
Curious ako eh. So, do you do distribution or this is all bootstrapped by the company? Paano yung...
We have distribution. I have country representatives. So I have no,
Hmm,
I have distribution in every country.
I see.
I do
Okay.
B2B. So yung aming website, if you see, we have B2C, which is e-commerce
Yes.
direct to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reason for that is because there are some markets we have no distributors. So we want to capture the world, you know. But basically, we don't touch the countries where we're present. So it's just mainly for countries that wala kami representation pa. But I don't do the coins because for us doing B2C is a very costly endeavor,
Yeah.
considering that we are in Switzerland, it's very expensive. People here is very expensive. So that's why. But we are B2C, we are industrial, we're parang almost industrial level. So I do distribution, yes.
And you do white labeling or dala
No,
yung brand? Kailangan dala
no.
brand.
So yeah, no white labeling. No, we can't. Because we have unique formulas. One is a patented active formula. We can't. Not allowed. I'm the only
Yeah.
one licensed to have it. You know, and the license is very expensive. I
Yes.
cannot relicense it, and I'm not allowed anyway. Yeah, and that takes away the uniqueness of it. That's one of our USP. You know, we have unique formulas, so I can't.
They're different.
Yeah.
So,
I
ayan.
see. Ayan.
Next, ipasok na natin ang trivia question number 2. Ito, nasagot na ito, guys. So, saan naman located ang MOI? Ayan. Question number 2.
Ayan. O, ayan, nasabi na to.
Yes.
Ah.
Ayun, I don't feel guilty. Do you know what I mean? If you give them the answer, it would be fair to
Ayan,
ask the
sige.
question.
Yes. So, para di tayo masyadong mag-overtime kasi I know we
I have about 15
already...
minutes, but yeah.
Okay. So, after the long-term vision, so actually earlier you already given some wisdom, some advices. But let's say sa mga viewers natin na talagang, you know, one step na lang, they wanted to have their own business. Yung tipong tatalon na pero hindi makatalon-talon. What advice that you can share to them?
I mean, there's many reasons for procrastination. Sometimes instinct, that means you're not ready. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, why are you having that doubts? Ask yourself. That will tell you what to do. Honestly, super simple. So the most common procrastination is they're afraid to fail. If you're afraid to fail, then don't do it. Because guess what? In life, you will always fail. Walang fall-proof na plan, no matter how good you are, no matter how experienced, no matter how much money you have, is not an assurance you succeed. What makes you successful is grit. What does that mean? Is passion and persistence combined. It's showing up diligently every day, no matter what happens. So if you're sure that you really want this in your heart, and you're not afraid of whatever that comes. Kasi entrepreneurship, ang difference with working, you have a salary. Entrepreneurship, you take risk. Are you willing to take the risk? Can you afford to take the risk? These two questions, because you have to be responsible. Some people also, they just jump. Yeah, I'm excited. Ask yourself, can you afford it? Because lalo na pag may family ka, you cannot afford to make your family go hungry. Ito yun lang naman eh. Ask yourself, bakit ako? I'm not sure. Am I afraid to fail? If I'm afraid to fail, forget about it, okay? Because you are gonna fail. But maybe not in a way that ends your career, but you're gonna fail in some way. But if you're afraid of failure, and failure comes, and no matter what, in what form, no matter how little, then you're already done because you're already afraid of it. But if you're willing to face anything, if you believe, ang audit ko lang naman simple, understand your strength, understand your experience, understand your capacity when it comes to the ability financially, your experience, your mind, and then the understanding of your market. If you have that covered, I mean, it's all written out there, but you just take everything by heart to learn as much as you can and understand you yourself. So you take it from there. I think I gave the questions already, the leading questions, and understand the way to how to approach whatever questions you have. Unless I'm being cryptic.
No, totoo talaga yun eh. Kasi yun nga, yung failure talaga nandun eh. So, sabi nga, di ba, fast fail, fast forward. So, parang ganun na. Yun talaga yung magiging building blocks ng character mo. So, siguro kahit na anong endeavor, not only for entrepreneurship,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, everything. We fail anyway. Even if you don't
Yeah.
do nothing, we still fail. Our
Yeah.
life, we are the because our life, we are never alone, right? There's so many things that happens that everything is not up to us. So there are always some things that because failure is relative. It's relative. Some things are failure to you because you didn't get what you want, right? And that's gonna happen either way, to anyone. So, kailangan mo lang talagang maintindihan na ang life talaga, there always something that comes in. And entrepreneurship brings in a lot of challenges. I'm not trying to scare you. The reason for that is because there's bigger rewards if you succeed. See, bigger rewards, bigger risks. It's simple. So,
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess tayo sa last question. Ayan. Pwede mo nang i-plug ngayon ang iyong social media account, business expert or ad. Plug yan lahat.
I plug it? Hindi ko narinig. Sorry, kasi nagbe-break. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's written, you can follow me, also my page personally, if you want to learn some more wisdom. It's Demee, Demee .official in Instagram. And for the brand, it's Demois, you see the spelling, .official. Yeah, you got it there. So, yeah, in Linktree, you can find me, Mahinay Koch. In Facebook, you can follow me because I think it's good to follow the Daily Dose and my Facebook because I share a lot of wisdom there. Almost every day I share something about life in general, about
Mga
business.
follow na ang social media ni Demee. So, ako mamaya i-follow ko na to agad.
Thank you.
Pero, ayan guys, I think ito
Thank
na
you.
yung question number 3. Saang bansa na bilang OFW at course?
Yeah.
Ayun, sinabi ko yun.
Ah.
Sinabi ko yun.
Oo. So ngayon, two questions na lang muna tayo mga ka-OFE. Okay na yan. At least,
Okay na
if you
yan.
follow,
Hindi ko na, unfair. Hindi
pwede
ko
na,
na.
oo. Bonus na natin yung 1. Pero at least, kidding aside, we're very, very happy and sobrang thank you, Miss Demee, for your time and for giving us ito yung, kumbaga sa sinasabi ko is, alam mo pag may laman with experience, na talagang alam mo, may hugot eh. Kumbaga, nung sinasabi niya yung mga realization, yung reality bites. Masakit, kasi may times meron kang mga sinasabi, even me, guilty as charged. So parang, iwas ako konti, pero alam ko medyo may tama din sa akin. Pero dito kasi talaga tayo matututo eh. Ito yung kumbaga sinasabi namin lagi here in OFE na ito yung actual experience that will help us. Right? Na talagang hindi mo makikita minsan sa libro kasi minsan yung self-help books masyadong theoretical, very fundamental, but it's not the reality. Right? And yung binigay mo talaga sa amin is coming from a Filipino culture which is very relatable as you mentioned earlier. Dapat relatable siya. And yung sharing ko ng yung mga learnings ko na natutunan sa for tonight is talaga yung self-love, self-care, create boundaries and learn to say no. Ayan. So, dito na natin isasara ang ating episode for tonight. So, maraming salamat ulit, Miss Demee. And then, for our OFE family, kita-kits tayo ulit next Tuesday for our next episode.
May I say something though before
Go
I
ahead.
go?
Yeah.
I would like to thank you as well and OFE in general for creating this because I said it's my advocacy as well to help. And you don't understand how much you are gonna help changing the future of the Filipinos abroad and back home. And you are an instrument that's given to God, and I hope they appreciate it. I hope you will grow And yeah, more power. Thank you
Thank you
again.
very much. Oh my God. Thank you po. Maraming salamat. So, yan, mga ka-OFE, thank you. Kita-kits tayo ulit next
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
week. Bye.